Many people around the world have a very polarised view of China, and recently there's a Pew report suggesting that in many Western countries, young people have a negative view. However, there was two outlying countries in that survey, Malaysia and Singapore. So as we're here in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, we decided to go out on the street and actually ask some people. Many of the people we spoke to Malaysian, but we also spoke to some other people from different countries here as well. So stay tuned to get their thoughts and opinions on China. Can I ask where you're from?
I'm from here, it's Malaysia.
You're from?
Malaysia, yeah. Here.
In Malaysia, so
Yeah.
you're a native Malaysian.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of countries around the world have quite a negative view on China.
Oh.
And there was a recent survey done by the Pew Institute that showed actually a lot of young people in Malaysia are quite pro-China, quite positive about China.
Yeah.
Can I ask what your thoughts are on China? Are your views negative or positive on China?
From my point of view, which is for the people at there, which as from here, which from people that are from China come to here, as I can see, some of them are, which outcome is positive from my point of view.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
in your image of China, do you think the Chinese government are doing a good job for the people in China?
about that, I don't know about that too much.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. And just one more question.
Yeah.
Your information about China, where do you get that from? Do you get that from the internet, or do you get that from people you know?
From the internet, of course.
From the internet.
Yeah.
So overall, would you say you have a positive view of China, a neutral view, or a negative view?
A neutral view.
A neutral view.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much
Yeah.
for your time. Really appreciate
Yeah.
it. Cheers.
It's okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Welcome to Malaysia. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
You're from Pakistan, okay. And do you live in Malaysia?
Yeah, I 3 years already live in Malaysia. I'm working here.
Okay. So I want to ask you, in 3 words, what are your thoughts about China?
Was China? China is people is so many hard worker
Uh-huh.
and so humble, nicely, must like that. No liar. Good people, no liar, hard working, and focus working. Like never any cheat any people. Just
Okay.
focus to yourself like that.
Work hard to
Ah.
better your family,
Ah.
yeah? And do you think China are a negative influence for the world or a positive?
Have little bit negative, but that Chinese people problem, not other people problem. They have little bit negative like that. And government is scare everybody, scare like
Uh-huh.
close to never give this one religion. He focus only government like that.
Okay. And have you ever been to China?
No.
No. Would you like to go?
Yeah, I have plan. I want to go
Oh, you want to go, okay.
because I have little bit business. This one reason I want to go.
Oh, you want to do some business in China?
Ah.
Yeah, I feel that China are all about wanting to do business.
Yeah.
Would you?
Have opportunity because since you want someone so cheap and sell other place like that.
Yeah, they
So,
make a lot of things.
manufacturing lot.
Yeah, manufacturing they're
Ah.
very good at, aren't they? Okay, well, thank you so much
Okay,
for
thank
your
you.
time. I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So right there at the Petronas Towers, it's kind of a very touristy area, and they don't seem that interested in talking to us. They seem more interested in getting selfies in front of the building. So we're off to Bukit Bintang to see if we can get some more willing participants. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
So where are you from?
From Liberia.
Liberia?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. The first Liberian person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're making this film. I want to ask you, Penny, if I say the country China to you,
Yeah.
what comes into your head? What's your opinions about China?
China?
Yeah.
Really, what comes to my mind? China have been the country that we've been exporting, no, importing from to our country,
Uh-huh.
like goods, clothing, and other things.
Okay.
So, for my opinion, China is a very good country in terms of production of products and other things.
And do you have any other thoughts about China?
Not really.
Where do you find any information about China? Would that be on the internet or?
Mostly I found information about China through maybe business people. Because
Okay.
these are the people going to China.
Uh-huh.
Because I have some relatives who go to China to buy goods and other
Oh, okay. And do they have an overall good experience?
Yeah, probably I can tell because they're going there, I'm not going
Sure.
there. So they are not sharing everything with me.
Uh-huh. Have you ever been there?
No, I never been there.
Would you like to?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, so can I first ask where you're from?
I'm from Ampang, Selangor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a native Malaysian.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I say the country China to you, what words come into your head to describe China?
The first one would be in terms of buying power.
Uh-huh.
If they're coming as a tourist over here, they are quite strong buying power.
Okay, so
buying
they're
stuff
good tourists, yeah? And would you generally get your information about China from where?
All I know is from still Asia. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think you have a positive or a negative opinion of China overall?
Not really, so it's just neutral and not really detailed information about them.
Okay.
Not really.
And do you think China are a positive country for the world or a negative country for the world, or neutral?
I think it's leaning on, depends on how people see it, but so far as I know, just from business perspective, they are quite a strong economical country. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think they have much influence on Malaysia?
I think quite strong, but I'm not sure what's the detail. But I heard of stories that China are quite a lot of sectors are ruling in Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of this business proposal with Malaysia, but I'm not sure what's the detail of it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, sir.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No problem at
Cheers.
all. Yeah.
Hi, so first can I ask where you're from?
I'm from Ipoh. Perak is Perak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if I ask you what's your perception of China, what do you think about China, what would you say to me?
Sorry?
If I asked you what your perception, what do you think about the country of China, what would you say?
China.
Yeah.
I think China is more Chinese people and more the technology is more high tech than Malaysia, I think is right now the sense.
And do you think China are a negative influence on the world or a positive influence?
Actually, negative have,
Okay.
totally have, but the negative side also have.
What do you think
Yeah,
are the negative
because-
things?
Actually, the government is so strict for the people there.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we outside country cannot see and many things about the internal side. So we cannot say that we know more about the country because it's just the
You feel
outside
it's a
one.
bit closed?
Yeah.
And do you think they have a positive influence or a negative influence on Malaysia?
Actually, it's positive because
Okay.
it's interact with Malaysia, help Malaysia a lot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. And so Malaysia does a lot of business with China, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And where do you get your information about things happening in China
The
from?
most information is internet.
Okay.
Yeah, internet.
Okay.
The TikTok, all the apps there.
And one last question. Have you
Yes.
ever visited China?
No.
No, okay. And would
Yes.
you like to?
Sure. If
Yeah.
you have chance, I will go there for visit.
So when you see information in the media about China, do you tend to think that's a truthful media?
Actually, we cannot say it's true or not because many things that will covered by the government.
Uh-huh.
So we have to know what we can think is true and what we cannot.
Okay,
Yeah. I have
okay.
to take it myself.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time and thank
thank
you
you.
for taking part in our interview.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Go on. Thank you very much. So can I ask where you're from?
I'm from Sydney.
Sydney, Australia?
Yes.
Okay, and are you here in Malaysia on
Just
holiday?
visiting, yeah, just visiting.
And how long are you here for?
Literally 3 days. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, okay, so just short stay. So what I want to do, I want to ask you what your opinion of China is. Do you think they're a positive influence on the world, a negative influence on the world, or?
Well, it's hard to say, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so you
It's
don't.
hard-
It's not something that you're really that bothered about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I
Okay.
don't think much about it.
So, like in the Australian media, it's generally very negative towards China. Do you kind of agree with that, or would you say that's too negative?
I believe that there's a certain areas of the media does exaggerate a lot of variations of China's in terms of political views.
Okay.
I mean, it's clearly there's a lot of news going on right now because I always feel that when it comes to this recent media, because of the a lot of the media, they're not all official. There's a lot of like social media going on.
Would you believe everything you read in mainstream media?
I think because what happened is that because of the social media, people tend to increase exaggeration, so that way they can get more likes. So they're not always
truthful.
Not just truthful, but they are totally journalists that who report news. They're in my view, they're a lot more opinion news than
true news. Factual.
Report news.
Yeah. Factual,
there are report news. I'm not saying that they all report news are facts or not facts, but it's more. I think they to have more of a likes to their feeds. They need to exaggerate things or to say certain way to enhance the story so they can have more views.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So it's not necessarily facts or not facts. So it could be a facts,
but
it's the way that is tell.
Yes.
Is being told that it created more sensation. So it's not necessarily it's not true.
Now I'm aware Australia have kind of don't have a good relationship with China at the moment.
Correct.
Do you think that's a good thing for Australia or a bad thing for Australia?
In terms of the relationship, there's many ways to tell and say what you think. But I believe that certain government officials they don't think about what the outcome going to be, the way that it's said.
You mean they're not diplomatic enough?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
I think we can always say what we think and feel, but not necessarily screaming out that the people don't have you scream it out in such a way that the other person feels that they don't need to connect with what you say.
Sure.
So if you believe, I believe that if you want to say your opinion, it's okay. Say exactly that, but you have to allow people to react and connect with you. But if you say a certain way, then people can't even bother to connect with you. The only way to react is to fight back.
Sure.
So I believe that if you want to have a political or either opinion, you should speak as a way that is allow the other person or the other country to react.
So to have a two-way dialogue.
Correct.
Yeah,
if you scream it in such a way, the only way they can do back is to scream back. And I don't think that is good diplomatic.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That's really appreciated.
Okay, you're welcome.
So can I ask you guys, where are you from?
Taiwan.
Okay, so you're from Taiwan. So this is quite interesting because we are conducting a sort of street interviews about people's opinions on China. So what's your opinion of China?
什么是 opinion？
他问你的对中国的想法。
Chinese Kung Fu.
But what's your opinion of China?
In my opinion, a lot of delicious food. Yeah.
Let me see. You can ask. Let me see.
Okay.
So many people.
So right now there's some tension between Taiwan and China mainland, okay? As young people, would you like to see a peaceful unification take place, or is that not something you would want?
我们要和平一点，和平还是要不和平？当然是和平。Peace.
You would like a peaceful unification?
In my opinion, I think China people is like Taiwan people.
You feel you're one,
Yeah,
all Chinese people,
but the
right?
Government is not.
Okay.
Yes.
And one last question. Do you think that America are making the situation between Taiwan and mainland worse, or do you think their involvement is a good thing?
你听懂吗？
他是说
我知道。美
美
国
国对于这个情况是处于这个美国来处于这个情况是好还是不好？
对啊，应该是好的吧，好事，就是可
She
以当
seems
中
good.
间的桥梁。对啊。
She thinks good, and then maybe can be a bridge.
You think America may be able to be a bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you all kind of think that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. Do you have a positive impression of America or a negative impression of America?
Positive.
Yeah, okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure, thank you. Can I ask where you're from? But I think I know the answer.
I'm Malaysian.
You're Malaysian, so
I'm
you're a
born here.
native Malaysian, right?
Grand. I've been 6-7 generations before from India.
Wow,
The British government bring the labourer from India
okay,
and Chinese from China.
okay. And can I ask you, what's your opinion on China?
China, no original,
No?
no original system, all artificial. Example, the telephone handphone. This handphone, compare, look at the Apple phone. What is the China product? Not very good.
You don't think Chinese products are very good?
No original.
Okay,
Always artificial.
all artificial. And do you think China are a positive influence on the world or a negative influence?
Negative always.
Why?
If something make problem to other country, bully.
You think China are a bully?
Bully is, for example, Myanmar, like Nepal, Afghanistan, Pakistan finish. Pakistan totally finish. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, some African country finish.
And you think that's all China's fault?
Always corrupt everything, every business, everything you want, everything you want. Even in Malaysia, some business by China,
So you don't think China are a good influence?
but they very active.
They're very active. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, and where do you find your information about China?
A lot here in Malaysia, a lot.
In the newspaper, in the internet?
Newspaper, internet,
And is that negative news or positive news?
always not the attraction, something like give always the attraction. You come, I do for you the well business for you.
Uh-huh.
For example, Pakistan, you want a super corridors business.
Yeah.
Now what happened? Finish.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much for the time
Thank you,
talking
and
to
all
us.
the best.
It's been nice talking to you. Thank
you, and all.
So there you have it, some very mixed opinions from the people on the streets of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more of these street interview kind of videos, let us know in the comments and we'll see what we can do about bringing more of these to you. But for now, as always, take care.